Welcome back to a new video. This is my Kawasaki KH125 and I stripped the engine in the last video and I've got all my parts now. So these came from CMS-NL in the Netherlands and loads of new ones. For example, this is the old Rotary disc which is pretty worn out, and this is just a reproduction, and just checking the sizes, they're the exact same. So they've just had this manufactured brand new, pretty good. And I've bought a load of stuff, so I've bought seals and a brand new woodruff key and exhaust studs. These are little screws because the old ones were quite hard to get off, so I don't take any chances, just genuine new screws, another locking washer thing, a new seal and a nut. And so I'm going to reassemble this engine. This is the tub with all the old parts in. So far I fitted that one, so to fit that I just used this, which is a socket, and I got it in the right place, and then I just slowly tapped it on, and that worked really well. Interestingly, this piece which I've just put on was a brand new genuine Kawasaki part. So there's the new rotary disc, and the owner's manual says that I should apply a thin layer of two-stroke oil. So I've got this, which is my bottle, which I've just pillaged out of old two-strokes over the years. So all I'm going to do is put my cap there like that, pour a little bit in there, and then I'll just get my finger and I'll just apply it on this. And I think this is just to stop any sort of wear when it's first started up. Over time, obviously, two-stroke oil will come into this, and so that'll do. Put that there. Then I will be able to fit this on, and it goes that way around, says the owner's manual. So there you go, that's on. The next thing to install is this cover, and it does have an O-ring in it. This one looked okay-ish, but since I'm in here I've bought myself a brand new one. The new cover is in place, and I've bought 6 brand new screws, a bit of thread locker to each one, just a tiny bit, just to stop it from coming apart. Then I'll put those in place. This is the next part I need to install, and this just slips up into this hole over here. The woodruff key is in, and I had to push in the oil seal with this little screwdriver just to seat it all the way in. Then this goes next, so you can see the woodruff key is round there to the side, so I'll just match up the notch and then I'll push this on, but I'll probably do it off camera in a second because I think it'll be a bit tricky. And again, I'm just going to use my socket to push it on. This is next, which is a tooth washer, so you can see a little tooth there. This washer will bend up around this to stop it moving when the engine is running. Well, I bent the washer down. The next piece to install is this, the clutch basket, and you can see I've put in the little chuck key there, and it's in place. So it's time to put this clutch back together, and I'll just put these on in reverse order to the way I took them off, and 6 plates there, springs and stuff all in this box. I'll assemble it with the new pots, so let's do that. The clutch basket is in, and you just have to spin it around and keep matching up all the teeth that are inside there till they all line up, and you should have 6 clutch plates sitting in there just like that. And then these springs just go on the outside like that, and then you have a little washer, and then you have one of these. My bad, you have this, which is a washer for all 6, and then the bolts go through that. This is a very important piece. So this is a little clip, and it goes right on that whatever this is called, this shaft. So to do it, I'll do it off camera because it'll be really hard and fiddly. I'm just going to have to pull this clutch basket that way a bit, and then try and slip that clip on to hold the clutch basket in place. I've put on the little clip which is right there in the middle, and now I'm putting on these rings. And next, this piece goes on with the screws to hold it on. All those bits are now on, and I found this. Couldn't remember where it went, so I had to go and look on the manual. And this goes onto the clutch. This is the clutch push plate, and then this sits on there and pushes it in, and it goes through one of these seals. The old seal is there in the casing, so I'm going to pull the old one out, put the new one in, and then put all of this side casing back onto the engine. The rubber is installed. I've got myself a brand new gasket, so that sits on there, and I hooked it over this little dowel. There should be another one over here, but it's not there, so I'll just have to feed the screws in quite carefully so as not to tear it. And now I can fit this side casing, and it just goes back on the way it came off, and then I'll feed in all the bits. So the side casing is on. I put the new gasket behind, and I just had to sort of fiddle with it to get it in the right place. Now then, this is the fuel hose, and that goes down through here, and it will feed its way through there to the carburetor. And the oil hose I have on here, this is the oil pipe. I'll do this off camera so I don't make a mess, but that little rubber bit there, that just goes into this little recess here, so that'll sit there. So the oil pump is this one, so oil comes from the two-stroke tank down into the oil pump, and then it'll get pumped over here into the engine, so that's good. Then the carburetor is here, and that it just sits. Notice this white collar that is needed. The carburetor just sits on top of that, so I'll push that on in a minute. And this is this cable goes to the two-stroke pump, so you can see the cable there. When it's all connected up, that will pull this, and so when you pull the throttle, it will open up the carburetor by pulling up this float here. So the float opens up and down, so that lets the air fuel mixture in, or the air in, and then it mixes with fuel in the carburetor, becomes air fuel mixture that is burnt obviously in the engine. And then the two-stroke pump is this, and you have to obviously connect that up because it needs to pump oil into the engine. This is not the same as a four-stroke engine, so I am going to connect all of that stuff up and button this bottom end of the engine all together. I fitted the kickstart lever and this side casing, but I'm not going to fit this side casing just yet, because on the carburetor you can see that inlet there, an oil inlet of some sort. I think that should be an oil two-stroke inlet, but I can't see where it comes from. It should come from the oil pump to there, but I just can't see where it comes from. So I've put a post up online on Facebook on an owners group to ask if anyone knows. If you know, let me know, but hopefully someone will give me a tip on how to do that or what that is. So next, to progress on this, I need to refit the top end, but this is the barrel. One of the problems I had was the exhaust studs were no good because the thread was worn out and I couldn't get them out of the cylinder head. And so what I've done is I've welded this piece of metal to the studs, and then with that welded in place, I can just turn this whole thing and the stud will come out. And so that's really cool, so that I can replace the stud here with brand new part. So time to put the piston and the top end back together. As always, I've put newspaper down there to stop anything falling down, and then I'll push through this pin from the right hand side with the arrow pointing towards the exhaust outlet. I have myself a new base gasket made of asbestos, apparently. So it looks like it goes this way, matching up with the engine. So I'll drop that on there. Slowly does it. I'll do this off camera actually. I've put the cylinder head back on, or the cylinder back on, and it's tricky to do on film because you have to hold the piston rings in with one hand and feed this on with the other hand. But it's on now, and I've got myself a brand new copper gasket which will go up in here. And I'm putting this back on, which is the cylinder head. It's a bit dirty though, so I'm going to give it a quick wash. This Kawasaki rebuild is finished and I think it looks fantastic. I've put the engine back together, so all the side bits are now on and it's good to go, I think. So let's have another go at starting it up. So I've got the choke on and I'll try and just get some throttle. Very cool bike, and it does need a bit more tinkering just to get the idle speed right. I'll go for one more start up. So let's try again starting up. So a bit of throttle. That is just cool. Look at the smoke. Mental. That is sick. I guess that's probably enough smoke for one day. That's amazing. If you are an environmentalist, don't buy an old two-stroke. Anyway, that's it for this bike. It's done. So there's a few bits I do want to tidy up. So something's not quite right with the idle speed. So I need to do a bit of fine-tuning with the choke, carburetor, so on. And remember earlier I said if you know anything about what was under there. So there was that piece in the carburetor where I thought a fuel hose or maybe an oil hose should go. If you know what that was, please let me know, because I need to do some research before I can ride this bike to make sure that's okay. Anyway, thanks for being here. Check out some more videos coming soon. Let me know if there's any bikes you'd like me to rebuild on the channel, and I'll catch you again soon. See you later. Bye.